Hi everyone, it's me. If you're new here, my name is Alanna and I'm a Canadian, but I live here in the UK. And if you're not new here, hey, how's it going? I have now lived in England for over 10 years, which still feels really weird saying that out loud. And yet there's elements of my personality, of my habits that are still very foreign. So that's the vibe of today's video. Grab a seat, get cozy, put your feet up. Hope you are well. And without further ado, let's go. Just kidding, there is further ado. I have a mini rant, which I'm gonna put right now because I want to. And if you want to skip it, that's totally fine. There'll be chapters in this video, go ahead and skip it. However, if you want a rant, here it comes. I think as an immigrant in a foreign country, it is your duty to assimilate to that country. It's a privilege to live in a foreign country. It's a privilege to be here in the UK. The UK doesn't owe me anything, and I certainly don't expect it to change to suit me. Because if I wanted to live in a country like Canada, I would go back to Canada. Saying that though, I don't think it's healthy or entirely possible to like fully change who you are as a person, like strip down everything that makes you you. I don't think that's like super healthy. I also don't know if it's like fully possible, and it's certainly not going to happen overnight. So when I was thinking about this video, the way I sort of view this topic, I've worked really hard to assimilate. I think it's extremely important. I love British culture and I love living here. I think of England as my second home. There's still some bits of my personality that are Canadian and will always be Canadian, will always be foreign, and that's okay because I don't think any of these little quirks or personality habits or traits or whatever impact like other people. Does that make sense? I guess this is just a very long rambling way of saying if any foreigners see this, any immigrants or like short-term expats or whatever, if any of you see this, from one foreigner to another, I think it's absolutely vital and like should be required to assimilate to your new life in the UK. But there will be things that you can't change about yourself. I've come up with 9 things. It's not that serious, but they're still foreign, and that's okay. And with that, I think that was my rant. Not too long, right? For anybody who didn't actually skip it. So without further ado, for real this time, let's go. First up, I want to talk about celebrating. I think as a Canadian, as a foreigner in the UK, I tend to be a bit more openly encouraging. So if someone gets a new job and I'm like, oh my God, that's incredible. I'm so proud of you. That's wonderful. Where in British culture, I find people tend to be a bit more reserved. So like me being like, that's wonderful, crazy. Like, I'm so happy for you. That might make British people feel awkward if they themselves did that. So if a British person gets that promotion and I'm like, that is incredible, I'm so happy for you, wow, like that's great. And then the British person themselves who got this incredible promotion are like, yeah, I'm chuffed. It's just like, you don't want to be like overly excited. Or I find British people don't want to be overly excited without like a layer of sarcasm. Let that protective layer. I think this all just comes from Canadians tend to be a bit more direct, a bit more upfront, a bit more openly excited and showing emotion-ish, where British people tend to be just a bit more understated. Number 2, let's talk about Cheers. And God help us, not the TV show. Contrary to what people think on YouTube and in the video comment section, I really don't drink anymore. Special occasions and taste tests on this channel is pretty much it. Although pubs have shut over the last 10 years, not all pubs, but a lot of pubs have shut, I still think there's a real like pub culture within British culture, you know, going down to your local, you have your typical order, you know, your typical pint that you like. I still don't really feel part of that just because I don't really drink, which is annoying because I love pubs. I love like an independent, cozy, like wood paneled, maybe there's like a fireplace and there's like a pub dog and it's all very like chill and cozy and maybe even a little bit historical. If that's possible, I'd love it. But it always feels a bit pointless to go and order like a Coke Zero. Do you know what I mean? Like, it's like, if you're going, you're gonna have a pint, but I just don't really drink much anymore. So it's something, a part of British culture that I don't really interact with that much. Even though low alcohol or like no alcohol drinks are becoming really more popular, more standard. Like when I first moved here, you were not going to see a low alcohol cider or a pint of anything anywhere. And that's definitely become a lot more common. But again, it feels kind of like, what's the point? Because you're spending like a decent amount of money on a pint of no alcohol juice. Anyway, part of me as a foreigner that romanticizes life here, I do want to have a local. I want to have a local, and people like know me when I go there and they're like, oh, pint of the usual. Like, I feel like that would be really fun. Number 3, on ways that I'm still not British, we have to talk about sports. Unfortunately. Football? No. Cricket? Kill me. Rugby? Maybe. Only because there's like a lot of physical stuff happening, but even then, no. I don't support any sports teams. I don't watch any sports whatsoever. I never know when England themselves are playing. The only way I can tell is if there's people outside screaming. Or somebody's playing Sweet Caroline, which is such a funny, like, British song that's not British, but that just, like, you know, if you hear Sweet Caroline, you know what's going on. It's a very interesting song choice that has now become like synonymous with British sport. But anyway, I just don't have any interest. I don't know what to tell you. I don't care. And I feel really bad because sometimes I'll get comments on videos and people being like, hey, Canada and England are playing in the women's rugby, like you should watch it. And I'm just like, oh, I'm happy for you, but I don't care. And I've tried watching sports ball of various types. It's not for me. Number 4, a way that I am still foreign, and we're gonna call this section Advil. Let me explain. This is actually how this video came about. I say Advil instead of ibuprofen, even now. So Advil, of course, is a brand in North America of ibuprofen capsules or gel liquid tabs. Like they've got a million different products, but it is a brand. I think mainly because not only is it second nature, that's what I would have said in Canada, that's the brand of painkillers we would have had in the house, but it's also just like really easy to say instead of ibuprofen. So for instance, the other day I had a headache and I said to my partner, hey, can you get me some Advil? Do we have Advil in the house? No. We have Tesco no-name ibuprofen, but he knows what I mean. If I'm speaking to like a doctor or a pharmacist, I will make the effort to say ibuprofen because I know that's the word that's supposed to be used. That's the word that they will understand. But when I'm at home and I'm like miserable and I've got a headache and I'm upset and I'm just not feeling good and I'm speaking to my partner, or maybe I'm back home in Canada and I'm talking to my mom, Advil is the word that's like natural to me that just comes out. To be fair, there's still a few word differences. Like I still say the North American version instead of the British version, like gut reaction, but I'm just gonna keep it to this one Advil on this list. That could probably be its own video. But for now, Advil, and I still say it, and I probably will always still say it. One thing I've really gotten into, hold on, need to adjust the legs. One thing I've really gotten into here in England in the last few years is actually home automation. It's not something I ever considered in Canada, but here in England, we have slowly turned our house into a smart house, and I love it. And our latest item is from Tapo, the sponsor of today's video. Tapo sent us their D235 doorbell, which we've been playing around with. To be honest, long before they reached out to sponsor a video, we've been a Tapo family. Most of our smart lights, our like smart socket plugs, our home automation stuff is Tapo. But the Tapo D235 doorbell has honestly been great. The biggest thing for me is it has a 6-month battery life. We had a video doorbell that we were charging literally every 2 weeks, and it was a nightmare. It also has a micro SD card for local storage. Love it. So you can avoid expensive monthly subscriptions. Plus it's reliable in all weather conditions, which pretty important when you live in England. It also has smart AI detection and notification, so it accurately identifies like people, faces, pets, vehicles, which then reduces false alerts and those annoying unnecessary notifications. And finally, the picture is really clear with 2K resolution and vivid colors even in low light. Trust me, you need this, link in the description. Number 5, we have to talk about spooky season. I love Halloween. It was one of my favorite like holidays growing up. I love the excitement and like, I don't know, the whole vibe, I love it. I found the UK hasn't really adopted Halloween. Like, you'll see a little bit of it, but not a lot. And whenever I mention it, and I'm probably gonna get it now, whenever I mention Halloween, I always get comments being like, ooh, I don't like Halloween, it's too American. Okay. I loved making a Halloween costume and watching scary movies and going trick-or-treating, and like everybody in the neighborhood would be out, and like there was just so much like fun and excitement. It doesn't have to be expensive either, you know, Christmas. So you get Halloween, right? And then it's like the lead up into Christmas, and Christmas is so expensive and I find like stressful. In preparation for Halloween, my mom and I would go to a charity shop. Shout out Value Village, any Canadians watching, we'd go to Value Village and we'd buy, it's like a secondhand charity, whatever. And we would buy clothes and items and stuff, and we would build a Halloween costume. And it was just so much fun and like creative and exciting. I do love it. It's a shame, largely speaking, the UK doesn't care about Halloween, especially like for young kids and stuff. Like if I ever had kids, taking them to Canada for Halloween would be so fun. It's a bit of a shame that there's not really a lot here. Like you might see a couple of houses decorating, you might see a couple of kids running around trick-or-treating, but that's it. How can you tell when it's almost Halloween in the UK? Here's how. Number 6, let's talk about British classics. On this channel, I love taste tests. I love taste tests. If you have something you think I should do a taste test video on, please leave a comment down below. I've done literally hundreds and I can't stop. And I won't stop. I love taste tests, but there's certain things that I have tried, and I've tried multiple times, and I just can't. So a couple of things that come to mind: pickled onions. Marmite, tried multiple times, multiple ways, I just can't. Christmas pudding, mince pies, any of that like spiced fruit, that mince stuff. Boiled veg, mushy peas, not for me. I feel like there's just so many other incredible British foods and meals and snacks and bits that I would much rather fill up on than some of that stuff. But I am a big believer in try everything twice, because you never know. The first time you have it, it might be a bad representation of it, or it's just not the right time in your life. So you gotta try it a second time, because you never know. Number 7, if it's not 7, it is now. This one is actually kind of embarrassing. Let's just call this one my bad. I need to talk about interrupting. This is embarrassing and I hate it, and I honestly didn't really notice it, which is terrible, until I went back to Canada and I realized like everybody I know does it, and I do it, and I don't want to do it. This is a Canadian part of me that I would like to leave behind. So I have found a lot of Canadians, a lot of North Americans just in general, will interrupt people when they're speaking to each other. Not in a rude way, like I don't care about what you're saying or what you're thinking, like I'm interrupting you because I don't like you, but in a, I'm so excited about what we're talking about and I'm so excited to talk to you and I need to tell you this thing, that I interrupt you. And I hate that I do it, and I still do it, and I just... It's not as noticeable in Canada when everybody's doing it, like when my family's together and we're all interrupting each other, so you know, it's not one-sided, but I have noticed here that I'll do it, and I'm the only one doing it because It's very rude in British culture, and I hate that I do it. I'm so deeply sorry. I'm sorry. This is embarrassing. I feel embarrassed. It's something that I'm working on. So while I said earlier, like, you shouldn't change yourself too much, you know, you shouldn't strip away all the things that make you, you know, based on your culture and stuff. This is a Canadian culture quirk that I am actively trying to stop. So bear with me while I work on it. Number 8, a like British quirk, British personality trait thing that I have not adopted. I would like to call this party abroad. If I go on holiday, you are not going to see me participating in the stereotypical British person sunburn in Tenerife, absolutely pissed. It's not my vibe, personally, and maybe you're the same. It is a stereotype, but unfortunately, I think anybody watching this video knows it does happen. It's a stereotype for a reason, because people do it, and it's this like British mentality of going abroad, going to a beach holiday. You're sunburnt, you're loud, you're partying, you're just absolutely wasted. I find it all quite embarrassing and not for me. And when you are on holiday and you see, you know, that group of people, all you can do really is tut and just pray they are not in the room next to yours. If I go on holiday, like if I go on a beach holiday, I want to sit and maybe sit in the sun for a bit and then sit in the shade and maybe read a book and then go have some lunch and then maybe have a nap and then like go swimming. Like I just chill, and I'm going to bed early. 100% I'm going to bed early. So this idea of like the stereotypical Brits on holiday, Brits on beach holiday, I think is the big thing. Brits on beach holiday, I've not adopted, and you know what? God willing, I hope I never do. Number 9, a way that I am still foreign. This is called latte, please. I literally never drank tea in Canada. Ever. Canada is a very big coffee country. Coffee shops absolutely everywhere. Of course, we're well known for Tim Hortons. Tim Hortons nowadays is not what it used to be. Can I say that? You shouldn't be able to buy a pizza at Tim Hortons. But back in the day, the original Tim Hortons was a coffee shop. You get a donut, you get a coffee, double, maybe play roll up the rim. But Canada just as a whole is very coffee centric. I've definitely started enjoying tea in the last couple of years since living here. It's taken a while, to be honest. This is one of the British like cultural habits that I've been slow to adopt, but where I love taste tests and kind of combining it with that has been really fun, and finding new flavors and new brands and like new preferences has been really enjoyable. I actually, this last winter, I have been enjoying having a cup of tea in bed, like before bed, I'm winding down and I read my book, and it's just like really chill, and I totally get it. Non-caffeine tea, I have to specify, non-caffeinated. But every morning, like my first drink of the day is coffee. If I'm going out with friends to a cafe, I'm ordering a coffee. The only time I would buy a tea would be like at a very like tea-centric, like a tea house. You know when you get like that binder and it's full of all these different teas? Then I'm gonna order a tea. But 9 times out of 10, it's still coffee. It's coffee for me. It's a preference. I love it. It's very, very Canadian. And it has to be brewed coffee. In Canada, instant coffee is absolutely not a thing. I've never seen it, never heard of it. Nobody drinks it. It's not part of that reality. But the UK is actually one of the biggest instant coffee markets, and hashtag spoiler alert, if you don't want to listen to this, mute. I actually am working on a instant coffee review taste test video. So if you like that, if you're into that, if you're curious, I hope you'll watch it maybe next week. Knock on wood, nothing goes wrong. But I'm really curious. It's not something that I've ever tried in the UK before, but it's super popular. So again, I'm willing to try everything. I will say, having been here 10 years, sometimes when I think back to myself, when I first moved here, I was 22, absolutely no idea what I was getting myself into. And I think back to that version of myself, it is so wildly different to myself now. A part of that is just age. I have aged in England. I've spent more of my adult life in England, which is really weird when you say that out loud. But I have changed a lot, and I think part of that is just aging, is growing up, but also like being open to new experiences and learning about British culture and really like trying to absorb as much of it as humanly possible has really made me into this kind of like a hybrid person. I'm in between Canada, I'm in between the UK. I'm not one or the other, but I'm both. If you'd like to watch another video, which would honestly be absolutely wonderful, I would love that. Only if you want to, no worries if not. How about this one? The secret rules of British small talk. But as always, thank you guys so much for watching, and until next time, bye!